All right, everybody. I think I finally got it working. Had a little issues here, and as you can tell by my voice, that I'm not feeling up to par either. It's not COVID, obviously, but I got in some kind of head cold or something. I've been not having a good Friday and Saturday the last 2 weeks, but I decided to sally forth and try to do a live video and see if I can't get through it. This is in the Demolition League. We are at Series 5, game number 2, or matchup number 2. Last video was San Francisco at New York. This one is Cleveland at Houston. So that's what we've got going on right now, is Cleveland at Houston. Next video after this will be Arizona at Philadelphia. I'm sure that will be an upload of some kind, not a live thing. See if I can't tighten this thing that holds my phone, because it keeps bouncing around on me. So I'm hoping that this is more stabilized. It's continuous work in progress when I'm not used to doing live stuff. Okay, starting pitchers for today's game. For the homestanding Houston Astros, it will be Scott Feldman, right-hander. And for the Cleveland Indians, it will be the much maligned sometimes Trevor Bauer. So those are the starting lineup, or the starting pitchers, I should say. I do have the game on the computer, but if I'm doing live, it's hard to score and do live at the same time. So I'm just gonna have it on the computer for general purpose, and that way after the stream is over, I can upload all the stuff. Let's look at the bench and bullpens for both teams. First, for the visitors, the Cleveland Indians. They have 2 left-handers, Mark Chebzinski and Nick Hagedorn, and some right-handers, Zach McAllister, Austin Adams, Ryan Webb, Brian Shaw, and their closer, Cody Allen. So those are the guys they have available in the bullpen. And on their bench, they had, actually, let's look at the rest rolls. They got a tough break on the rest rolls. They had to rest all 3 guys that came up: center field, third base, and catcher. Unfortunately for them, that's the way it worked. So Bourne, Chisenhall, and Perez all have to rest. So the only guy that's not resting that's on the bench is Ryan Rayburn, backup outfielder. For the Astros, they will have in their bullpen the typical 2 left-handers. And they have Tony Sipp and Joe Thatcher from the left side. Then right-handers, they have Chad Qualls, Josh Fields, Pat Neshek, Will Harris, and then their closer, Luke Gregerson. So let's see what we've got going on here. As we look at the starting lineups, let me get everything hopefully into place. Oh, forgot to do the bench for the Astros. They had no rest, so they got full complement of bench players: Marvin Gonzalez, Jonathan Villar, Jake Marisnick, and the catcher, Hank Conger. All right. If I can breathe, we'll be okay. See if I can't get this thing moving here. All right, there we go. Now it's up on the screen. So let me see what you are looking at. I probably have to raise this up a little bit to fit everything in. Looks like I probably do. So let's see how that looks. Will that give me everything? If not, I can bring this down this way. Okay, I think that fits everything, if I'm not mistaken. All right, we got our dice tray right over here. Make sure that all fits. Astros are 5-7. Cleveland is 8-4. So the Astros have really been struggling. Cleveland, also, as we go through their lineup, they had an injury. Cleveland had an injury to their shortstop. So I didn't want to call him up this early, but he did get the call up, and that is Carlos Correa, who'll be making his first start of the season, as they had an injury to their other shortstop, or their main guy that they would be doing. And that was, let's see who that was. I'm forgetting. I'm drawing a blank on his name now. It's kind of bad. Let's see, he's injured for 9 games, I believe. Where did he go? Oh, I'm looking at Cleveland. I should be looking at Houston. Where'd you go? Jed Lowry, that's the guy I'm thinking of. So Jed Lowry was injured for 9 games. So that's why we had to bring up Carlos Correa. They had backup outfielders, but they really needed a backup infielder. That was the main thing, was to have a backup infielder. So let's look at the lineup for the visiting Indians. Murphy is in right field. Kipnis is at second. Santana's at first. Brantley is in left. Ramirez is the shortstop. Brandon Moss the DH. Mike Aviles at third base for the rested Chisenhall. Gomes the catcher for the rested Perez. And Jerry Sands is in left field. So with Bourne out of the lineup resting, they moved Murphy from the 9 spot to the 1 spot. Also had to move Brantley from left field to center field. And that's why Sands gets the start today. For the Houston Astros, it'll be Altuve at second. Springer in right, Colby Rasmussen center, Evan Gattis at third, Evan Gattis DH, Luis Valbuena at third, Chris Carter at first, Jason Castro the catcher, Carlos Correa at short, and Preston Tucker in left. Hi Mike, how are you doing? I'm going to try to get through this. I know I sound really, really bad because I got a really bad head cold. I'm going to try not to cough on camera if I can, but we'll see. I was definitely thinking about doing this recorded instead of live, but because around 9 o'clock I was definitely thinking that, which is when I normally would do this around 9 o'clock Eastern, but I figured why not give it a shot, so we'll see. All right, so Scott Feldman will be getting the start, and he'll be facing this Cleveland lineup. David Murphy to lead things off. I have the computer up, but going back and forth with the chat and everything is kind of hard to give the stats, so I'm just going to play it out without the stats. This is game 13, so they only played 12 games, so, stats are kind of iffy. Hello, Mr. Larry Harris. How are you, sir? I'm glad you could make it. I had a snafu the first time I tried to load this thing or get this thing going live, and I forgot my camera was locked, and so it wouldn't get the landscape, so I had to fix that, and that's why it's a little bit belated. But we're ready to go. Scott Feldman facing Murphy again. Astros 5-7, Indians are 8-4, and let's bring this down just a touch so you can see everything. Hopefully, if I bring it down a little further, you'll be able to see that this is series number 5, matchup number 3, game number 1. April 27th, 2015 is the replay date. So we are just about set. Murphy against Feldman. And that's a 4-7 against the lefty. That's a 1-8 single. Anything else, he grounds to short, and that is a ground ball to short. So how about that? Correa starting his first game of the season, and the ground ball finds him on the very first play. Joel, no, I've got a head cold, so I'm definitely not 100% for sure, but I really wanted to play this game, and I was going to just do a recording and upload it, but I decided to try the live and see how it went. But yeah, I picked up some sort of head cold yesterday. I started feeling it yesterday. It was in my nose, runny nose and whatnot. Overnight, it went down into my throat and my lungs, so hopefully I don't sound too much like Pee Wee Herman, but move dice. Oh, you're right, Mike. Glad you caught that. Let me move the dice tower over just a touch. I was so worried about the score sheet, I didn't even look at the dice tower. Let's see if that fixes everything, hopefully. Let's see how this does. Hello, Mr. Robert. How are you? Yeah, Larry, I'm thinking about 20 games is a good mark. Hello, Tim. How are you doing, sir? Still need to move this over a bit, it seems. So let's do that. I want to get that dice tray in there as best I can without crowding the cards. Okay. So I think we're good to go now. All right, so for anybody that came in late, Murphy grounded to short. This is Carlos Correa is making the start, his first start of the season. as their other shortstop, or their main shortstop, Jed Lowry, is injured for 9 games. So that is why he is there. And if you wonder why I sound like Pee Wee Herman or something, it's because I've got a really bad head cold. And but I'm going to try to get through it. All right, here's Jason Kipnis. 5-7 against the lefty. That's a single to left field. Jason Kipnis continuing his hot hitting. He is a B stealer. B stealer starts as a 13, being held as a B stealer. You lose 3, make it a 10. The catcher, in this case Castro, is a -1. So that'd be a 1-9. And with the big boys coming up, they're not going to take a chance. They're going to hold him there. And Carlos Santana, the batter. 6-7. Another off the Feldman's card. Switch your bang left. 6-7. That's bad news. 1-7 is a double. 8-20 is a singles. 2 stars. So the run cannot score, but at worst it's going to be second and third. I'm sorry, first and third. At best it's second and third. It's first and third as Santana singles. 2 stars. Kipnis moves to third. Santana will be held, but of course he won't go anywhere. Early in the game, the Astros will play the infield back. Hello, Mr. Replay Gamer. How are you? Apologize for my voice, but can't help it. I'm going to try not to cough on camera as best I can. Here's Michael Brantley. 6-6. Again, we're off Feldman's card. This one, though, is a ground ball second base A with the infield back. That is a 4-6-3 double play. And Mr. Feldman pitches out of trouble here in the top of the first. The pitcher's best friend, the double play. And we go to the bottom of the first. It's Cleveland nothing and Houston coming to bat. Trevor Bauer will be the starter for the Indians. And Jose Altuve will bat leadoff. Robert, I will, after I do this one, I will probably play a lot of stuff offline. Sorry. Somehow yesterday a cold hit me like a ton of bricks. Really got stuffy nose and runny nose, and then overnight it moved down into my chest and to my throat. And I mean, I feel fine, other than the fact I can't speak very well. I feel fine. All right, here's Altuve. 6-8. 6-8 against Bauer as a strikeout. 1 down. All right, so 1 away, and that's going to bring up George Springer. I'll probably watch some college basketball today as well. Some of the tournament games. Here is Mr. Springer. 3-7, and that's another strikeout. So Trevor Bauer, 2 strikeouts, 2 at-bats. And that brings up Colby Rasmus. 4-5, and that's another strikeout. So Trevor Bauer strikes out the side. And at the end of 1, it's no score here from Minute Maid Park. Although we are playing advanced, so no ballpark effects, but still in your mind's eye, you can say you're at Minute Maid Park, or whatever they call it these days. I don't know if it's called Minute Maid or something else. It's had many names. All right, here is Jose Ramirez, the shortstop. 2-9 against Feldman, and that's a pop-up to second. Easy play for Mr. Altuve. 1 away. For Brandon Moss, DH. 2-8 for Moss, struck him out, 2 down. And anybody came in late, in case you missed it, Cleveland got a bad break on the rest rolls, so they had to rest Michael Bourne, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Carlos Perez, or Robert Perez, rather, their catcher. So they are kind of playing, with some backup guys in there, but that's the whole point of the league, is to get other guys in the game, not use the same guys all the time. So here's Aviles at third. He's starting for the injured, not for the injured, but for the rested Chisenhall. 5-10, and that's a ground ball to third, and that's going to do it. 1-2-3 inning. 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. And that'll bring up Evan Gattis, the designated hitter. Bauer struck out all 3 he has faced. 3-8 for Gattis, and that's a single to left field. So first base hit of the game for the Stros. Gattis and E-Stealer will not be held. Certainly won't think about going anywhere. And Luis Valbuena at third base. Bauer, 2-7, and that's a 1-4 single. Anything else 5-20, he lines it right to Santana. And that's a liner to Santana as he snags it, one away. That brings up Chris Carter, first baseman. 5-5 against Bauer. That's a ground ball, shortstop X. Gaddis not being held, so the shortstop's not in any penalty there. And the shortstop is Ramirez, and he is kind of playing out of position. He was really moved to third base later. He is a 3 and an E30. 3 and a 6 probably is going to be a range check. Let's take a look here. 3 and a 6 is a ground ball C. So he makes the play, but the runner advances. 6-3 ground out, but Gaddis will take second base. 2 down. And I forget who it was, but somebody asked me about explaining more of the advanced fielding chart and the breakdown on that. And I remember I went back and looked, and Tenacious Earl did a string of videos, teaching videos on advanced, and one of them was the fielding. So I would definitely check out his video. He did a thorough job, much thorough than I can do in a stream like this. So I would definitely check that out. That's Tenacious. I think he's called himself Tenacious Sports. It used to be Tenacious Strat. I think it's Tenacious Sports now. I'm not really sure. But you just type in Tenacious in the field, in the search engine. I'm sure it'll come up. Or Strat-O-Matic Advanced tutorial, something like that. That'll come up as well. All right, so Castro, the batter, with 2 outs, and Gaddis at second. He's still not being held. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. Of course, Bauer not tired in the second inning, so the inning is over. We played 2 and no score here in Houston. That will bring up Yan Gomes. He's starting for the rested Perez. Of course, they kind of alternate anyway. 6-6, and that's a ground ball to short. Correa right on top of it again. 1 down, and that will bring up Jerry Sands. He doesn't get much activity, but he's playing today. Kind of about a necessity because of all the off day or resting players. 4-5, and that is a fly to center. 2 up and 2 down. So both pitchers locked in early. Back to the top of the order for Murphy. And I apologize if I don't. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but I'm trying to save my voice for the actual game as best as possible. But I am looking at the chat every once in a while. All right, Murphy, 2-10, and that's a single to center field, or to left field rather. Murphy, a 2-out single. Now with 2 outs, he might take a chance here, although it wouldn't be. No, he's an E stealer. Never mind. I'm thinking of a C stealer, but that's not the case. All right, so Kipnis is up. Murphy will not be held. Kipnis 2-8, and that's a ground ball to first. Carter will take it to the bag himself, and Cleveland Indians go down. First 3 innings with no runs, so it's still no score. Bottom of the third. Trevor Bauer, and now this is Carlos Correa's first at bat in the league. On the 2015 season, he had 387 at-bats with 22 home runs and a 279 average. I'd planned on holding him out a little bit longer, but with the injury to Jed Lowry, I had to call him up, so couldn't really help. All right, here is Correa's first at-bat of the season. 5-8, and he walks. So on-base percentage, I guess, of 1,000 with the leadoff walk. Now, he is a B stealer. The catcher, Yan Gomes, his arm is a -1, so again, it'd be a 1-9. Starts with a 13, 3 for being held as a 10, and the -1 is a 9. Do you send him? You know what? He's going to try to make a splash on his first game of the season, so I know it's only a 45% chance, but we're going to take a gamble. He did steal 14 bases, got caught 4 times in real life, but he's going to try to impress the manager right here. 1-9, he is safe. And he impressed the manager not so much with a caught stealing as Yan Gomes fires down to Ramirez, and Correa is retired. Clears the bases, 1 out now for Preston Tucker, number 9 hitter. 2-5, and he struck him out. So Bauer, strikeout number 5, and we're not through the 3rd inning yet. So Jose Altuve, 2 outs, base is clear. 5-8, and that's a walk. Now he's definitely a threat to run as a double-A stealer. He starts as a 17, -2 makes him a 15, and then -1 arm makes it a 14. 1-14, and he is in there. It's a 1, so it's possible throwing error on Gomes. His T rating is a 6. 1-6, we got a throwing error. And we do, so it's a stolen base for Altuve, and then an E2 on the throw sends him to 3rd base. So Altuve is at 3rd, where he can score on an error, on a pass ball, all sorts of things. For George Springer. 5-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop exit. If this is an error or something, this would get the run home. Again, Ramirez is a 3 shortstop. 3-1, that's going to get through for a base hit. You don't have to worry about an error there. That's a base hit, and the Astros strike first. Courtesy of the throwing error from Yan Gomes, and now the single from Springer. Springer is an A stealer, which means he starts as a 15, being held makes him a 13, -1's a 12. Let's see if they got Gomes rattled and try to run again. 1-12, he makes it. He does. Stolen bases, no throwing error, but he does steal. 2nd base, gets in scoring position. He will have to be held. So, pardon me a second. Let me cough real quick. That's why I didn't want to do live, because there's no mute button. At least not that I know of. Apologize for that. Okay, so Colby Rasmus is up. Springer is being held at 2nd. So if we get in his plus signs, that's going to be a base hit. 1-9, it's a strikeout. Don't have to worry about that. But Houston strikes first. 1-0 Stros after 3. And that'll bring up Santana, Brantley, and Ramirez, kind of the heart of the order for the Indians, as they try to get something going off of Feldman. So far, just 3 measly singles in 3 innings. Had that threat in the first, but the double play killed that. 4-7, switcher to batting left. That's a 1-8 single. Anything else, he grounds to Correa on a 9-20. And he does. Correa makes the play. There's been a couple nice plays out there. Here's Brantley. 5-8. Sorry about that. Couldn't control that one. 5-8's a ground ball, 2nd base X. Whew. 2nd baseman, Altuve is a 2. I'll tell you, it's really bad. Now the sneeze is coming back. I'm going to try to finish this video as best I can. All right, so Altuve is a 2. I know it doesn't make for a good video. 2-6 for a 2nd baseman is a ground ball A. And that's good enough. 2 down. As Altuve made the play. I knew as I started talking this was going to happen. Get the voice going, it's going to irritate the throat. All right, Ramirez. 3-9 against Feldman. It's ground ball to 2nd. That's going to end the inning. Hopefully it's a fast game. I guess that's all I can think or hope for. A close, fast game. How about that? So Trevor Bauer coming back out. Going to see if he can't keep the Astros at bay. Here's Gaddis. Move my mic when I know I'm going to cough. 5-11 for Trevor Bauer. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 3-E-8. 3 and a 5. Let's see. It probably goes to an error check. Most likely on the pitchers it usually does. So a 3 and a 5. Yep, 4 through 17 sends us to the error check. He is an E8. E8 and a 7 is a ground ball A. So there you go. Yeah, I apologize, Replay Gamer. I just That's why I was seriously considering uploading, recording and uploading this. But I like Saturday is kind of my one day to be able to do a live stream with the house to myself, and probably bit off more than I can chew. Oh well. Here's Valbuena. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but of course he's not tired this early. So there's 2 quick outs, and that brings up Chris Carter. I guess in sports vernacular and baseball vernacular, I am day to day. All right, 6-6. Not on the injured list, but I'm day to day. 6-6 is a 1-5 for a triple. Anything else, he flies to center. And that's a 1. It's going to fall in for a triple. Do you believe that Chris Carter hits a triple? He had no triples in real life. That's one of the bugaboos, I guess, in the advanced game. I think in super advanced, he would have been limited to a double because he had no triples. But oh well, there you go. Triple for Chris Carter. That thing was bouncing around probably in that little mound in center field where the flagpole is, and by the time they got it all up, I appreciate that, Larry. I may try that, but I'm just so used to saying what's happening that I'd probably feel weird if I didn't say anything. Certainly going to try to keep it without being, well, I'm not that flamboyant with it anyway, but I'm going to try to keep it matter-of-factly. 2-8 strikeout, kind of like a Joe Friday thing, Dragnet. All right, so after 4 complete, still 1-0 favor of the Astros, the homestaying Astros, trying to improve their record. Like I said, they're 5-7. Cleveland's 8-4. So they're trying to catch up. They're 3 games back already. They don't want to fall 4 games back. I feel like it sometimes, Robert. I definitely do. Here's Brandon Moss. 2-12 for Moss, fly to center. Robert, look at it on the bright side. Feeling this way, you're not going to, almost certainly not going to hear any puns. So that's a residual benefit, I'm sure. Here's Aviles. 5-7. That's a solid single to center field for Aviles. He is a C-stealer, but he's not going to try to go anywhere. He will be held, though. All right, here's Yan Gomes. 2-10 for Gomes. Oh, he just missed the strikeout plus injury instead. Grounds to third. It's an A, so it's a 5-4-3 double play. So he got the insult instead of the injury. And at the end of 4.5, it's still 1-0. So here's Trevor Bauer back out to face Carlos Correa. Correa walked and got caught stealing his first at bat of the season. 4-5, and that's a strikeout. So Correa, they said, welcome to the big leagues, rookie. 1 away. Here is Preston Tucker. 5-11, and that's a ground ball. Pitcher X again. Bauer again, a 3 E8. Most likely will go to his error chart, and it does. E8. E8 and a 9 for the pitcher. E8 and a 9 again is a ground ball A, so he's able to take care of that. 2 down. And Jose Altuve, the batter, scored the only run of the game. And that came with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-8. And he flies to left this time, so that won't happen. At the end of 5, it's still 1-0. Now, Feldman, this will be his fatigue inning, number 6, and same with Bauer in the bottom half. They both have the fatigue at number 6, but they're both pitching pretty well. See if they can hang on. Cleveland needs some length out of Bauer for sure. They used their bullpen quite a bit in the last game. Carrasco gave up 7 runs in the first inning against the Red Sox, and it was a bullpen day for the Astros. So some of their bullpen guys are a little bit gassed. Here's Sands. I'm sorry, you need lead, yeah, from Bauer. All right, 6-8, ground ball to short. Sands is out of there. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of his life. Here's David Murphy. 1-3 for Murphy. He just missed the hit by pitch plus injury. Instead, it's a ground ball C, which, courtesy of Tri-Fan, is a 3-1 ground out instead of a 3 unassisted. Anytime we get the C or the X chart. Here's Kipnis. 110 for Kipnis. Again, there's a little ballpark effect there, but in advance, we just ignore that and go right to the ground ball to the pitcher. Feldman puts it away. I was expecting a lot of runs because not exactly the aces of the 2 staffs, but They are showing very well for themselves right now. And nothing against the point of weakness for Feldman, so he's good to go for the 7th. Here's Springer. Single and stole a base. Had the big RBI single, only run of the game. He drove in. 2-7, and it's a ground ball to short. One away as Ramirez puts it away. Brings up Colby Erasmus. 3-6, and that's a walk. So a 1-out walk to Rasmus. E-Stealer, of course, he will not be held. Here's Gaddis. He's definitely a double play candidate. Slow running as he is. 2-7. And he is. Ground ball, shortstop A+, but he was not being held on, so the plus doesn't come into play. It's going to be a normal 6-4-3. Double play. So we're 6 innings in the books. I'm still halfway alive, thank goodness. And we go to the 7th, 1-0 Houston. Thank you for everybody that's spending part of their Saturday with me and putting up with my nasally, coughy, sneezy, whatever. I feel like should go do a commercial for one of those cough medicines. All right, here's Carlos Santana. 3-8, and that's a ground ball right back to Feldman. One away. Boy, Feldman is really impressive against a tough Indians lineup. 4-5, and that's a fly to left. So how about that? He is really out distance or out over his skis on this one. Ramirez 5-9, switching back left. That is a 1-4 home run chance. He does have normal power. So 1-4, we got a tie game. 5-20 is just a deep fly that Springer will put away at the track. And Springer hauls it in. And Feldman got the scare, but got through it. We go to the 7th inning stretch. More like a 7th inning cough break. I think I'm going to step aside for about 30 seconds just to rejuvenate a little bit. You guys can talk amongst yourself, sing, take me out to the ball game, whatever it is you want to do. And I will be back in just about 30 seconds. Okay, I am back. Got some orange juice and hopefully drinking something to coat the throat might help. We'll see. But we're back for the bottom of the 7th. Trevor Bauer had 1 knock against his point of weakness, so he's definitely still good to go. Brandon Moss, the designated hitter, will step up. 3-11, and that is a ground ball to short. 1 away. So Bauer retires Moss. And that brings up Aviles, third baseman. Now we are into the 7th, so we could start bringing in the guys who had to rest for the Indians for sure. And of course the Astros will get anybody they want out of there. But they're going to stick with Aviles for now. 4-6, ground ball, second base X. That's Altuve. I'm sorry, not Altuve. The wrong team. That is Kipnis, and Jason Kipnis is a 3 at second base. 3 and a 12, that's going to go to his error check, and I believe he is an E10, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. So an E10 for second base, and a 9. Oops, wrong side. E10, second base, and a 9 is a ground ball A, so good enough. He makes the play. 1 down as Aviles is retired for out number 2, and I forgot to write down Moss's thing. I think he grounded to short his first time. Okay, so it's 2 now. Forgot to write in the score sheet for some strange reason. All right, here's Yan Gomes. 5-8 against Bauer. That's a walk, so another little notch there, but Whoops, what am I doing down here? You know why I was off? Because I was writing the wrong side in. That's why. That's what screwed me up. Okay. So Yan Gomes draws a 2-out walk. And it brings up Jerry Sands, if I want to stick with Jerry Sands, or I could bring in Michael Bourne. Let's see. With 2 outs, I think you're going to have to go to the bench. They need some offense. So they're going to Michael Bourne. He will come in and hit for Sands. Mr. Bourne, and he will move to center. He'll stay in the game and play center field, and they'll move Brantley to his more normal left field in the 8th inning. So runner at first, 2 down. The runner, Gomes, not being held, not very fast. Don't know if they want to go for a pinch runner here, or do you want to waste all your bench guys in one shot? Let's see, because if you're going to pinch run, you might pinch run with Bourne, and then, well, you know what? They're gonna stick with what they got. Okay, so here's Bourne. 4-6. Ground ball, second base, X. Second baseman is Altuve. He is a 2. I'm sorry, keep saying wrong team again. Kipnis, he's a 3. 3 and a 5. I think that's good enough to make the play. 3 and a 5 is a ground ball A. 3 and a 4 would have been a hit, but 3 and a 5 is a good play. And the inning's over. You know what I did? I just noticed this. Nobody caught me, I guess. I guess I was so worried about taking the break at the 7th inning stretch. I batted the Indians in the 8th inning by mistake, instead of going to the bottom of the 7th. So let me fix all that. Pretend like it never happened. I had it right the first time when I had a 6-3 ground out down here. I know I had a 6-3 ground out. So let's fix all this. Apologize for the snafu. That means that Sands is still in the game for now. It'll be Moss, Aviles, Gomes, and Sands. So we are in the bottom of the 7th. Valbuena made the first out, grounding to short. And now here's Chris Carter. So I thought something looked peculiar, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but I think when I took that break, it kind of threw me off. And I don't know why, but I don't know. It could be because I was not feeling too good, but we'll see. Bottom of the 7th. And I thought I was done until I talked too much. That'll teach me to shut up. 5-5 has a ground ball to short, and that is Ramirez. He's a 3. If I can get it to go through the little hole there. 3 and a 14 for a shortstop. He might make the play on that. 3 and a 14. He does. It's a ground ball C, but that's good enough. That's all they need. So ground ball C is another 6-3 ground out. 2 down for Castro, Jason Castro. Of course, the Astros had no rest, so they can bring anybody they want to in to pinch hit whenever they want, but they're going to stick with Castro for now. 2-12 for Castro. That is a single, so it is a base hit. 2-out single. He's an E-stealer. He will not go anywhere. Yes, it is, Robert, and I'm glad for it. If this was a 10-8 game, I'd be suffering probably. So I guess the Strat-O-Matic dice gods are shining on me. Give me a break. Here's Carlos Correa. 6-7. That's a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. So 7 innings are in the books. It's still 1-0. Now what do you do if you're the Indians or the Astros? Well, Feldman's pitching a shutout, so, and he's not tired. He hasn't done anything to his point of weakness since reaching it. So since reaching his point of weakness inning, he's gotten 6 up and 6 down. So definitely no reason to not stick with him. Brandon Moss will lead things off here in the top of the 8th in a 1-0 game. And all that started with 2 outs. There were 2 outs, bases empty. Altuve walked, stole second, went to third on the throwing error by Gomes, and then a single from Springer drove him home, and that was it. You've gotten the scoring updates in about 10 seconds. All right, 3-7 for Moss, and that's a ground ball to second. And Moss is out of there to start the 8th. 1 down. That'll bring up Aviles. Now, they're going to pull Aviles, and they're going to Chisenhall. So now the Indians are going to start bringing in their better bats. So Chisenhall will be the pinch hitter, and he will stay in the game to play third base as well. But they need offense. Chisenhall has been red hot lately. See what he can do against Feldman. 1-7. Oh, he just missed a home run chance. Instead, he struck out. Those are the chances you take sometime, but he will stay in the game to play third base. And now with 2 outs and the base is empty, they're just going to stick with Gomes, see if he can get something going. 2-4. He does not. He flies to right. So Scott Feldman, 8 shutout innings. He could be going for the shutout. In fact, he will be going for the shutout because he hasn't given anything up. He's retired the last 10 in a row. Now Bauer, let's see, we got Tucker, Altuve, and Springer. Do you stick with Bauer? I think they might be going to the pen. Will the Indians? Bauer gave them 7, which is what they really needed with some length. 7 and 26 batters faced. So let's see who did not pitch yesterday, or at least not much yesterday, and that is Brian Shaw. So that we're bringing in Brian Shaw to pitch for the Indians. Try to keep the score at 1-0. He'll be facing the bottom of the order, Tucker, and then Altuve and Springer. So Shaw is on to try to keep it a 1-0 game. Tucker, 0 for 2. 2-7, struck him out. He's 0 for 3. So really, like I said, I expected much more scoring than this, but the dice had other ideas. Appreciate you guys sticking with me through all the coughing and barfing and whatever else I'm doing over here. Here's Altuve, 6'10", and I forgot to check the injury factor, so let me do that because we'll go roll to 6. So Shaw could be injured on a 6'10", possibly. Shaw is a 0 though; he cannot be injured. So Ixnay, that am's great. 6'10" is a fly to center field X. Well, right now Brantley's still in there because we never got to Sands. So this is going to happen in the next at bat. So or next inning, I should say. So Brantley playing out of position at center field is a 3. So he's a 3 center fielder. 3 and a 2. That's going to drop in for extra bases. 3 and a 2 is a double. So Altuve, a 1-out double. He will definitely have to be held. And George Springer, the batter. So Shaw struggling a little bit, trying to keep the score where it is. Here's Springer. Again, Altuve is being held. And Luke Gregerson is warming in the Astro bullpen for the 9th in case they want to bring him in. But the way Feldman's pitching, they stick with him. 1-6 for Springer. And that's a single to left. There's a clutch there, but we're not doing clutch. Plus, there's not 2 outs anyway. So that's a single to left. And we'll see about the... And again, Sands is in left field for the Indians. He's a 0 arm. Altuve, who was being held, he runs at a 17, was being held, makes him a 16. So 1-16, they're going to try it. 1-16, he will score. And he does, so it's an RBI single for Altuve. And Springer now has both RBIs. He's driven in Altuve twice. It's 2-0, and that's going to be it for Shaw. Shaw couldn't get it done. He goes a third of an inning, faces 3 batters. They will now bring in the lefty, who I really don't like to spell his name out, but I like to say it. And that is Mark Chebzinski. Very interesting spelling on that name. R-Z-E-P-C-Z-Y-N-S-K-I, lefty. Kind of a lefty specialist. He's in there to face Colby Rasmus with Springer at first, who is being held, but he's not going to try to steal. 2-0 Astros here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out. 3-9 for Rasmus, struck him out. Big strikeout there, 2 down. And that brings up Evan Gattis, the DH. That's a leaner, so I'm going to re-roll that. 4-6 against the right-hander. 1-14. 1-14 is a single, but it's only 1 star. 15-20, the inning's over. It's a base hit, but Springer only goes to second. So first and second, 2 down. They're going to stick with Chebzinski against the lefty Valbuena. So, yeah, Chebzinski is the antithesis of Ed Ott. All right, here's Valbuena, lefty on lefty. 5-8. Struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. But the Astros get an all-important insurance run. And we go to the ninth. Last chance for Cleveland. And now we will see Michael Bourne pinch hitting for Jerry Sands. So that will take place right here. Whoops, right here. So Michael Bourne is your pinch hitter for Sands. And if it does go extra innings, he will stay in the game to play center field. So Michael Bourne is there. And he'll be followed by Murphy and Kipnis. Now for the Astros, they do have their closer Luke Gregerson in the bullpen loosening if they need him. But right now, Scott Feldman's the man of the hour. He is, like I said, retired 10 in a row, actually. All right. But if he is needed, Luke Gregerson would come in. He had 31 saves on the 2015 season, so he is loosening the bullpen just in case, because the Astros definitely don't want to blow this game. They worked this hard to get back to it and try to catch up with the Indians, so this will get them within 2 games. So here we go. Michael Bourne, the pinch hitter against Feldman, who is not yet tired. 6-7, lefty, 6-7. That's going to be a base hit against Feldman. So maybe he's struggling a little bit. Here's Bourne. Let's see, a 10 is a single. So leadoff single for, whoops, down here. Leadoff pinch hit single for Michael Bourne. Down by 2 runs, they're not going to steal him because his run is not important. It's the run at the plate that's important. And now the question is, do you go to the bullpen? I think you kind of have to. They don't want Feldman to lose this game. So Feldman goes 8+, faces 28 batters, and now Luke Gregerson, their closer, is on for the Stros. So Luke Gregerson is on. Try to save it. Murphy, the batter. Bourne is being held, although he's not going to try to steal. He is being held, so the pluses will come into play. 5-7, and that's a ground ball. Second base X, and second baseman again is Altuve. He is a 2. 2 and a 12 is going to go to his error check. 2 and a 12 will be an error check on Altuve, and Altuve is an E5. E5 and an 11 for Altuve. 11 is a 1-base error on Altuve. So all we need now is for Robert from RJL Network to say, what? Did you think there'd be a 1, 2, 3 ninth inning? So an E5, or E4 rather, on Altuve, and the tying runs are aboard with nobody out. Can't fault Gregerson. I mean, that should have been a double play ball in his mind. Hello, Steven. How are you? Apologize for my illness and coughing and everything. Hope it's not too disruptive. But we're almost done. Well, I thought it was almost done. This is a good extra inning set. My throat's not going to like that. All right, here's Kipnis. He could bunt, but he's such a good hitter. He's almost leading the league in hitting. I don't think you bunt here. I think as a road team particularly, I think you try to win the game. So here's Kipnis. 3-7, and that's a single 2 stars. That's why you don't bunt. A single 2 stars, and Gregerson's not getting it done. It is now a 2-1 game as Bourne scores, and there's still nobody out with runners at the corners. Now the question is, do you play the infield in and take a chance of giving up a real big inning, or do you play the infield back, give up the run to get 2 outs, and try to win it in the bottom half of the ninth? They're going to play, let's see, they're going to play the infield. You know what? They're going to play the infield in. The only one that would get them in trouble is if we roll a 2-7. Anything other than a 2-7, they'll be fine. So they're playing the infield in. That's a 4-6, and that's a strikeout, so he's not tired, so strikeout is good. Big strikeout there of Carlos Santana. So he couldn't change his evil ways. He struck out. So now Brantley is up. Now they're definitely back at double play depth because the double play can end the inning. 5-10, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Correa. And he's got a big play to make here in his first game. Correa checks in defensively. Let's see here. Correa is a 2 E22, so a 2 for Correa. 2 and an 8 on the defensive chart. Goes to his error check because it's 8 through 12, means we go to his error rating. And he's an E22. E22 and a 10 for shortstop. E22 and a 10 is a ground ball A. That's going to be the ball game. 6-4-3. And the Astros sneak away with a victory. Giving it the 1 run. Indians had a golden opportunity and let it slip slip through their fingers. And despite the ninth inning magic, it wasn't magic enough. Gregerson does get the save despite allowing the 1 run. Actually, the run was charged to Feldman. So Gregerson goes 1 inning, faces 4 batters. He does get the save. Feldman gets the win. Loss, unfortunately, goes to Bauer. It's a tough luck loss. And let's see, Chipzinski went 2/3 of an inning, faced 3 batters. So let me get the stats for you. Robert, I did what I could. I wouldn't call it a great call, but I survived. All right, so Bauer now, with the loss, he drops to 0-2. So not too good for him. Feldman with the victory. Let's see here. Feldman, where are you? There you are. Feldman is 1-0. So that was his 3rd start. He's 1-0. And Gregerson with the save. Luke Gregerson picks up save number 4. So 1-0 for Feldman. I think I said 0 and did I say 0-1 for Bauer? Let's see here. Go find him again. Nothing like being prepared, huh? Yeah, it's 0-2 now, actually. Okay. So 2-1 ball game. Let's do the hits and the errors. Of course, a big error right there by Cleveland, let a run in. Then also had an error on Altuve up here. So each team had an error. Let's check the hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. I've got Cleveland for unofficially. And for Houston, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got them for both for 6 hits unofficially. When I put the game in the computer, if I miss something, the computer, computer will straighten me out. All right, left on base, 1, 2, 3. I've only got 3 left on for Cleveland, so they just didn't get many base runners to leave on. Houston, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left on for Houston. All right, so that's going to conclude a doubleheader. No, I don't think I can handle a doubleheader. I think I would lose my voice in the doubleheader and cough my head off even further. But this game is in the books now. Houston improves to 6-7. Cleveland drops to 8-5. Houston with the win, 2-1. That insurance run, the 8th, came in big. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for Houston. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error, 3 left for Cleveland. Feldman, the winner, 1-0. Bauer, the loser, 0-2. Gregerson, his 4th save of the season. So again, everybody's with me this Saturday morning. I certainly appreciate it, hanging in there with me despite all the noises. For those that watch this later, I apologize for coughing so much in your ear. But at least I got the game in. That's the big thing. It's getting the game in. And now I think I will rest my voice. I'm going to play some more offline where I don't have to speak. And get ready set everything up for the next video. Don't know when that'll post, but the next video, probably when my voice is better. Next video will be the Diamondbacks at the Phillies. It is because we're in Series 5. That was matchup 2. We're going to have matchup 3, Arizona at Philly. And then 4 is Boston at Tampa, Seattle at Cincinnati. The pace may be sorry about that, DJ. I don't know why that happened. Of course, you can always go back and watch it, after the fact. But beware. Got a pretty bad head cold, so I was doing a lot of coughing on the video. So that I apologize for. So the next video, and like I said, I don't know the time frame. Normally, I like to record a bunch of these on Saturday and upload them during the week, but I'm not sure if I'm going to record another one today because it's my voice is about had it, I think, and I'd rather put videos out when I can speak, somewhat coherently. So that's it from here. The Astros did it, beating the Indians 2-1. Scott Feldman, the man, player of the game. Debut for Correa, not too good. Sorry about that. Correa, not too good, 0 for 2. Did draw a walk, but then got caught stealing. So, AJ Hinch, when I talked with him, yeah, I've had a rough couple weeks, DJ. I had the last weekend. I had my second COVID shot. I had a very bad reaction to that. It felt like I had COVID for a day. Had chills and body aches and fever and everything else. And that went away like in about 6 hours. But still kind of on Saturday, I was kind of just getting over it. I'm hoping next Saturday I'm 100%. That's the hope. But a lot of times when you get changes in seasons like this with the spring to winter and springtime, you get a few warm days. Like one day it was 70 degrees, next day it's 40. Today out there it's a cold rain with a chance of some snow flurries later. So, and then by Monday and Tuesday we're back in the 60s and 70s. So when the temperature fluctuates like that, my body doesn't seem to react too well to it. But that's just the way it goes. But we'll make it. I'm not putting any time frame on this project. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm not as far ahead as I would like to be, obviously, but once I get feeling better, I can start pumping out a lot of these games offline and get this thing, on the road, get to Series 6 and 7 real quick, hopefully. But anyway, Series 5, Matchup 3, Game 1 is in the books. Astros win it 2-1 over the Cleveland Indians. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that came in and stuck with me through all this and put up with all my coughing. Like I said, I don't know when the next video is going to be because it just depends on how I'm feeling. But I will do something. I just don't know what and when. So, again, enjoy your weekend, everybody. I've got Mucinex. I got the daytime and the nighttime both. So, I'll be pumping those with some orange. I got my orange juice in front of me, so I'm doing all the things you're supposed to do. Got my chicken soup. I'm doing everything that, you're so-called supposed to do, stereotypically supposed to do, so we'll see. And plus, I'm staying inside, not stepping foot outside in the cold rain, so. I had a nice warm house, and that's all I can do and rest. So, thank you for everybody coming in, and I appreciate you for putting up with my stuff. And until next time, I hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you happen to choose to play it. And as usual, and hopefully with a better voice, I will see you all down the road.